Welcome to Dwarven Porch Live. This is On the Anvil, episode 55, and my mouth is full of food. I miscalculated our timing for the intro there.
Yeah.
Is it 55?
It is.
All right.
Unless I wrote the number wrong. In which case it's not on you, so you're fine.
I'm not wearing my lav. Man, how many episodes have we done? 55? You'd think I'd have it figured out by now.
I had your AT20 on just in case.
I'm good. Because you're 2 steps ahead. Well, welcome. This is On the Anvil. This is the show where we take you behind the scenes here at Dwarven Forge and show you what we're working on, what we're thinking about, show you the process, and never have any tech issues and are never unprepared for anything ever. I am Nate, and joining me right from about 7 feet away over there is Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm CDC recommended 7 feet away from Nate, and this is On the Anvil. What is On the Anvil, Nate?
I need an extra foot of
He needs an extra foot.
Yeah.
He breathes really hard.
I do get a little wild. What is On the Anvil?
What is On the Anvil?
Or didn't I just say it's the show where we go behind the scenes here at Dwarven Forge and show you what we're working on with no tech troubles whatsoever. We're gonna
Let's
talk.
play the fan build again.
We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk shop. We're gonna today actually we're gonna show you the latest on our last Kickstarter, Wildlands, and we're gonna talk about what we have coming up down the pike. Right?
Yeah.
So we're doing. And you know what? We're gonna have a frosty beverage and hang out and talk about gaming for 2 hours.
Yeah.
You guys.
That's really the thing here is we tend to keep things kind of laid back for the most part. If we held ourselves to too high of standards, we'd never get it done.
Fly by the seat of our
always.
tunics.
Which frosty beverage is it today?
Ooh, let's go to the close-up cam, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
We got this episode brought to you by Angry Orchard.
Sponsor
Hazy, unfiltered.
Sponsor us.
Hey, that's a good idea. No, Runa needs to sponsor us. Hey, why is that? Okay, you're right. They don't compete. This is hazy because it's things are a little unfiltered tonight, a little raw.
Yeah.
But the key with this is talk to us, ask us questions. We're here. You know, this isn't a TV show. Not anywhere near a TV show. No. This is a chance to interact and let us know what you're thinking and ask some questions and make fun of us and all the good stuff. Or you can just leave. I'll make fun of Chris myself if you don't want to join in. All right. So what do we say? Yeah. So we're going over Wildlands.
Yeah. So as you said, we're going to go over some city stuff today. We're going to show you some test shots. We got some really exciting test shots actually. There was a teaser on Twitter. I'm sure some of you saw. And there's also a teaser of him taking the picture for the teaser. It was posted in the Discord.
It's really meta. It's the inception. You know what we also have? You know, we have tonight. We have lighting by Casey. Casey set up lighting. Look at this. I don't look like a weirdo ghost. I might have ghost arms, but you know, I mean, and the hopefully the pieces will look really nice. So, shout out to Casey.
Yeah.
Who can't be tagged on Twitter.
She doesn't have a Twitter? She doesn't have a Twitter.
Or you can't tag her on Twitter? Or no, it was right. I don't know. Yeah. She's hiding.
Oh, well.
All right, so what do we...
so first we got to get into the news. We got a couple of bits of news today. Most importantly, we got an animation that we have to play every week.
News! What's the news? We're in the news. What's in the news, Chris?
What is in the news? Well, to start off with, apparently my audio is a little bit quiet, which is a weird bit of news.
Use a stage whisper.
The cable is running through correctly, right? The cable's in here.
You asking me?
Oh.
Wait. Is the mic on?
The mic's not coming through. That's odd.
Do you want to take mine and hope the lav I don't do anything stupid? No guarantees.
This is very curious.
Ooh. George is a curious little monkey.
Well, let me try the thing where we turn it off and back on and see if that fixes it.
Do you realize the plot to Curious George is the same every time?
Having read a lot of Curious George in the last couple of years.
Wait. They always go somewhere dangerous, and he's like, George, don't do anything, and the man with the yellow hat just leaves him unattended, and he does something stupid every time. Like every single time. But then it leads shenanigans ensue, but then it works out okay.
Well, the microphone's working.
Woo!
Yeah, the was suddenly a very big pop. I'm gonna have to look into what was making that happen.
Well, at least we can live up to our promise of no tick issues.
Yeah.
At least it's not my fault this time.
Yep. How's everybody holding up from that?
Or did you just blow out everybody's speakers?
There was like a very sudden pop, and now all the sound's coming through. So
I got a really stern talking to from a viewer after a Gen Con stream where I like screamed full volume.
Because you were doing the Howling Devil?
Yeah, he was
And
wearing
you
headphones
screeched.
when he watched it and was
Yeah.
like so on the edge. I got another picture. He's like, "Listen, you got it. Like, you don't understand. Like, I like couldn't hear straight for a week because so I was like, oh, sorry. I don't know. I'm a method devil. I don't know what to tell you."
So if anybody else has any other audio issues, let me know. I don't know why that happened that time, but I promise it won't happen again.
No, he doesn't.
All right.
False promises.
Yeah, for some reason, like, the mic wasn't coming through, and so then I just, like, reset it for the mic to come through, and it was like... Yeah, no idea.
All right, so
why.
what's in the news, Chris?
News. All right. First off, if you guys remember, there's some white noise in the background.
What do you mean?
I might be able to
I
fix
prefer
that.
pink
Hang on.
noise.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to fix that while I'm doing this. If you saw last week's episode where we interviewed Jim and Pruitt from WebDM,
Woo!
their whole Kickstarter, we're doing another thing kind of similar to that.
In 1 week's time.
Yeah, 1 week's time. Next week we're gonna have the Dungeon Dudes on. They've got their oh damn, yeah, looks like that did it. Okay.
You good?
Yeah, it looks like the noise is fixed. Cool. All right.
Let's just run bars and tone and see if that does it.
Just run bars and tone.
Just really.
All right.
The worst.
What was I saying?
They have a Kickstarter.
They have a
Their
Kickstarter coming out.
Drakkenheim source book is coming out next week, the 29th.
Yeah, I think it literally launches on Tuesday, and then we have them on the show on Wednesday.
It's awesome. I'm so
So-
excited for them.
Yeah,
Like-
same. This is their first one for both, like WebDM and Dungeon Dudes.
Yeah.
It's their first Kickstarter, first time releasing a source book.
And they've been working really hard on it, and it sounds like it's gonna be really awesome. And I really hope they're gonna have a great hope they have a great launch. Like it's gonna be should be really cool. They asked us, I don't know, same with WebDM, like a month before, they're like, hey, do you guys want to like do something for it? It's like we need like a year lead time. We need like
WebDM gave us it was nice though. They sent us like that. I felt bad. They sent me like the folder with like a bunch of graphics and assets and everything, and we barely used any of them because the conversation just didn't really go in that direction.
You know what I didn't want to talk about the Kickstarter so much as like you can go to the Kickstarter page for all the info. Do you know what I mean? Like it was there's stuff there. I wanted to pick their brains and wander around and see, how much Pruitt loves Spelljammer. Confirmed.
Dude, yeah, apparently that was the best thing.
Weird space confirmed. That's their
Yeah, if anybody saw on Twitter,
Yeah.
it looks like they're doing Spelljammer stuff. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
Morning all. Oh hey, Orlov's here.
Woo!
Orlov, you should, if you can. I know it's 1 a.m. there. You're in the Netherlands, I believe. I know it's 1 a.m. there. You should try to hold out for about an hour at least.
For a giveaway?
Yeah, for the giveaway.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very active in the Discord.
Sometimes I'm slow on the uptake. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Orlov, they're very active in the Discord. They're a very nice member of the community. For the beans, yeah, we are going to be showing some C2 stuff tonight. So for the beans.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dungeon Dudes next week. We're excited about it. They're longtime friends of the Forge, and I'm sure the conversation that you guys have a really good rapport. So I'm sure the conversation is going to be.
They're big DF
exciting.
backers. They're like they're just great. They're just great folks. Love them.
And then let's see.
Man, I'll tell you, one of the best parts. Well, A being Dwarven Forge, B being in this industry, and C having the show is like we get to hang out with the best people. Like we just have like there's so many awesome people in our orbit, from all of you guys, the viewers, to the many various fans of DF that we get to hang out with and interview and play games with, whatever. It's just like it is a dream come true. Like we just have the coolest collection of good people. And you know what? People, if we don't like people, we just don't hang out with them, and it works out. We just have keep a nice safe bubble of goodness.
Yeah. So outside of that, I'm gonna try to get us through the news so that we can make some progress tonight. We want to tell you this is something I posted on the forums in the Discord. Recent news development. The next restock has been delayed an unknown amount because the part of China where the factory and the port that they ship everything out from has been locked down. So
well, it's a double whammy of the container shortage is hitting us, and then the port got locked down, and like that stuff should have been in the water 2 weeks ago or something, and who knows when it's gonna. But the bigger thing I'm worried, like, it's beyond this, right? Like it's affecting. It's not just affecting us. It's affecting lots of other Kickstarters. I mean, lots of industries too, but like specifically, like a lot of Kickstarters are getting hit because of where this is shut down in China. And I'm worried about Wildlands, of course. Like just because we're already running late, we're gonna get this stuff ready. Like just because the stuff is in a container and ready to go doesn't mean it's gonna go. Like the stuff for this restock was in the container weeks ago and ready to rock. And who knows? We don't even know when it's just the worst.
That's the thing is like the impact that the pandemic has had on shipping. Like there was like a delayed like kind of time bomb to it, right? Because there was the point where they ran out of extra resources to make up for like that's where the container shortage is coming from.
And then you have nonsense like this ship getting stuck in the Suez Canal as if things weren't bad enough, and then there's the ports getting locked down again, and it's like, So
does this affect the Kickstarter? Reality is, we
absolutely.
Likely yes.
Absolutely, because here's the thing. We're, like, there's weeks and weeks of backup. Like, let's say there's a shutdown for a month, then there's a month backlog of ships that were trying to go out. So, like, even if, let's say the stuff is ready August 1st, there could still be a 3-4 week backlog of containers that are still slated to go out. So, like, it's absolutely going to affect our shipping. The only thing that might be beneficial, maybe, is if the delay is bad enough, we might, like, initially, we were assuming we were going to be shipping in 3 waves. It might collapse it down to 2 waves, and that the factory might catch up with shipping, and that like we could have stuff ready to go and have the container done, and then get the next, we suddenly have 4 containers ready to go by the time it's open, and that all rolls out. But I don't know.
Like the factory is still working. It's just their ability to actually send the stuff out. Yeah. And we can't really tell you when it's going to be happening because we don't know how long the lockdown's going to be going on. We don't know.
Did you back the Blacklist fantasy miniatures?
No.
It was a really good, like, for like $100. It was like a Reaper style thing. For like $100 you get like a bucket of miniatures, whatever. And they were supposed to ship weeks ago and sent out a Kickstarter update with like, it's got to have 40 links in it of here's why global shipping is messed up. Like, it was just all these links and videos about all the problems with shipping currently. They were getting a little defensive because they told people like 2 weeks ago, we're on time, you can get stuff any minute, and then they're like, actually we're really wrong and we have no idea when it's shipping and whatever, and it's not our fault. Here's 40 links.
I think the reality is there's going to be long kind of lingering effects when it comes to shipping from the last year. So that's the thing.
What an uplifting piece of news, Chris.
As soon as we have more information about what the timeline's actually looking like, we'll tell everybody. The reality is, at least until they lift the lockdown, we have no idea how long it's actually going to be affecting things.
Yeah.
So, into some more positive news. We've got a really cool Kickstarter of the week this week. What is it called? It's called
Hunt for the Lycans.
Yeah. Nate, you know about this guy, and you've actually got some stuff to show off as well.
Yes. His name is Simon. It's like Stéphane Simon or something. He's French. And I backed his previous. This is his 3rd Kickstarter. He's a one-man operation. He's in France. He's got a really his sculpting style is amazing. This Kickstarter has currently it has 93 backers or something, 92 backers. Like, it's way under. Like, I don't know why there's not hundreds, because his work is just 94 backers. His work is absolutely fabulous. Here's a sample from his last one, the Legend of Minos, I think this was. This guy is an 80 millimeter tall, like the Minotaur to end all Minotaurs. Hamster just glued this guy together for me. It's resin, so it's super fragile, but like I don't even know if you can get all the details.
The like
it's
bulging veins on his arms and stuff.
His sculpting is just it's just sick. So this is like, you know, if you need like an avatar of Baphomet or like I don't know, the biggest Minotaur ever, or I don't know. And he's got regular like 28 and 32 millimeter folks and whatever, but like it's really cool. So check out, he's got a Kickstarter right now. It's 42 hours left. He literally has 94 backers. Like he's a one-man operation, and we're trying to get him to do some sculpting for DF because he's just, I don't know, really, really nice work, really nice resin stuff. One-man operation, definitely the kind of small Kickstarter that's worth supporting. And really, and you know what? He delivered on time. The resin is super crisp. The details are amazing. Really nice dude, and he's a DF fan. So there's that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Kickstarter has like 3 sculpts, and then there's some add-ons.
He's unlocked a couple. Like I think there's 5 sculpts you can buy now, and then you can buy a bunch of his previous work. Whatever. It's very, you know, if you're into like Dungeon Crawl Classics or Frank Frazetta or whatever, it's got a very old school, visceral, like primal, like it's real intense and warped and weird and dark and just awesome. It's the kind of thing like Odin Forge would go nuts for, or Dave Moffat or something. Like it's just like, I don't know. It's definitely worth checking out. He's good, yeah. Really very talented dude. And it's what you and I were saying before is that like it's so cool. Like Kickstarter and the games industry in general can support, like there can be a guy just, you know, doing a Kickstarter to raise 10 grand and get his next one. Like his last one was only 3 or 4 months ago. Like he's trying to churn these out as sort of quickly as he can and just live like Kickstarter to Kickstarter. And it's pretty awesome to be able to run it.
He does incredible work. Just like looking at, I hadn't heard about it before today, but just looking at the details on those sculpts, it's really wild. And it seems like the kind of thing that like those are the kind of minis that like painters do as like a victory lap.
Oh, I'm afraid to paint that mini because it's too nice. Like I don't even know.
Yeah, Seraphis. Essentially, the port that our factory uses to send us our stuff got locked down because of a new COVID outbreak, and so basically all of our shipping is currently delayed an unknown amount.
The other guy's not together. I have the other. And they have is dude riding a weird, elongated undead deer. That's just, it's bonkers.
Yeah.
No, so go check it out.
And
definitely worth seeing.
There's another link to show you guys today.
Oh, you know what's going to drive people nuts is we're going to send out a Wildlands update next week that says we're late, but now we have no idea what it's. Like, yeah. We have no idea, like, where it's going to be. And
well, I mean, this thing is just, like, entirely out of our hands.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't even a production thing. This is a...
Yeah. So we'll update people on where production is and what our hopes for shipping are, but I don't know. Jay is freaking out a little. And the prices are just astronomical. And you have to, like, bribe people to try and get to the front of the line, and that still doesn't guarantee anything. And, like, I don't know. It's just all, like, it's bedlam.
Yeah, shipping is just kind of a mess at the moment.
We should do a Kickstarter to make a factory in the U.S.
We would need a Kickstarter just to hire the ships to move all of our molds over here.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't work out for us. We'd have to do a consortium with like 100 other gaming companies and like, you know, do like $100 million Kickstarter to make a factory in the U.S.
Like a Wonka factory for like every tabletop, like every U.S.-based tabletop.
It's got dice molds and it's terrain and there's wood shops and there's all this like, yeah, it would be really cool. Yeah, no, that would be the problem. Even if there was a fantastic factory for us to manufacture it, like we've got hundreds of tons of molds, literally like
yeah,
that
it would be a very long and very expensive process to get them over here.
Tens of thousands of pounds of steel molds. Like I can't even, yeah. Anyway, what else is in the news, Chris?
What else is in the news? We did a collaboration with our friends over at Extra Credits, and that video came out today. It's got an animated version of Nate. It's very cute.
It's adorable.
It's right? Very adorable. They've got a. I mean, that style is part of what let them get as big as they did on YouTube. They've got a very unique presentation style. It's very nice.
Well, you want to tell people what Extra Credits is if they don't know? For Extra Credit?
Oh yeah. So Extra Credits, that's fair. Extra Credits is a YouTube channel that I believe they started off just making videos about games, but they've expanded to cover a whole lot of other topics over time. They do like history videos and everything, and their goal is to kind of make entertaining, informational videos with like some really cute animations and cover a wide range of topics. They've done several tabletop videos because Matt is a huge fan. He's a huge board game guy, and
just a game guy. Like
game
he
guy.
is like, if you name a video game, he's either played it or knows the guy that made it or whatever. Like he's very in it.
Yeah.
So it was a really fun. It's a really fun process too. Like it's super collaborative. They give you a lot of guidelines, but then a ton of freedom to kind of do whatever you want. And then also like it's nuts. Like they I spent a long time hammering out the episode with him because it was like, there were a lot of specifics that were needed, but then it was super freeform beyond that, whatever needed. But then it's like he let me watch rough cuts and give feedback and notes on the thing, which is like I would never, as a filmmaker, you don't want anybody else like giving notes on your thing because it just like opens up such a can of worms.
Yeah. And
whatever. And it's pretty cool how they put it together. And it's fun. I hope that some of our design philosophy is helpful or enlightening or inspiring to folks.
We should say that's what it was about. It's stuff that we've talked about on the show before, but it condensed into a sub 10-minute like fun like collection of information. Basically, it's like the guiding principles of design here.
And it was a modification of some of the official guiding principles, but it's the idea of like sort of how we establish some overarching goals and methods of working that then sort of permeate the rest of the creative work.
Well,
and it's broad.
It's the concept of, so they talk about game design a lot, and so what the impetus for it was he wanted to talk about how do you design for people to be able to design their own stuff. So it applies to a lot of the principles that we talk about with like the way they design our terrain can be applied to people who make game dev tools or stuff like Mario Maker, and just general like RPG design.
Magic cards, anything.
Magic cards, yeah. Anything where you're putting out a product that is supposed to enable them to be creative.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting video. I'm really happy with how it came out.
Yeah, I thought it was a really neat process. Hopefully people will enjoy it.
Yeah.
And we'll have Matt on this show at some point or in one of these shows. Like he's awesome.
Nearby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally he's like a 10-minute bike ride or something.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
That was all the news I had written down, unless we forgot something. So I know we said to move those two things.
Maybe I'll wait till next week about the D&D kids D&D thing.
That's what I was wondering, because you initially said that, but then you found out that it's going well.
I don't know. Well, I'll give the teaser, and we'll maybe do once I get a full debrief from Grayson, I'll give it next week. So there's this there's a guy that's running Zoom D&D games for kids ages 9 and 10, 11 and 12, 13 and 14. And he's super on it and really organized and has like some great pre-gens, but you can also build your own character. Like Grayson just wanted to build his own character. He makes a Hero Forge, many of them, prints them out, paints them, runs a whole thing with a bunch of kids. It's every week. It's a campaign. It's like super exciting. So Grayson's doing his first session. Literally just finished it up. I think it's finishing right now. 7:30 it finishes. But Talia said he was like losing his mind, excited, like super fun. Because it's just all kids with this thing. I don't know. It seems pretty cool. So if it, I'll get the full rundown. But if it's cool, I'll give you guys the link. It's a resource if you have kids and you want to have them play a Zoom D&D campaign with other kids every week. It's a pretty cool thing, and it's like $45 a session for a 2-hour session, which is pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
We'll give you full details next week.
Right.
And I think he's going to start using Vorpal board for his. He runs Zoom adult games for grown-ups.
Huh.
He's going to use Vorpal for that.
Did you show him Vorpal, or how do you?
I said, well, he was talking. So, I was trying to find out what Grayson needed to set up. I'm like, oh, he's got his character sheet printed out. He's got his dice. Wherever he goes, we're using the digital shared dice on D&D Beyond. And I said, well, why? He said because he's like, well, after the first couple sessions I did, like one of the kids got a nat 20 and everybody got like all excited or whatever. And he's like, suddenly like the next kid got a nat 20, and he's like, suddenly like everybody was rolling nat 20s. And he was like, it was a little suspicious. All these 9-year-olds just every roll with like a nat 20. They're rolling an 8-sided die and they're getting 20. It was like, so he's like, I switched over to shared digital dice to drop all that down. I was like, well, if you need like shared digital dice, Vorpal board. He goes, actually, I just checked out the thing last week. I think it's gonna be awesome for my grown-up games. Well,
If he needs to talk with Thad, I'm sure Thad would be happy to talk to him.
yeah, he already talked to me.
Awesome. All right. We got some really cool stuff to show you guys today. So some of the Wildlands test shots that we've had come in are, I think, some of the coolest pieces. Very excited about it.
So, we ready? Oh, and we have at least one new viewer, right? So, for those of you that are new viewers, test shots are. So we do our Kickstarter, one big Kickstarter, generally every year or every 16 months or whatever the heck it is. For that, we have polystone prototypes, which is simple silicone molds, whatever. But our final pieces that we're gonna ship to you guys are cast in dwarvenite and need these super heavy, as we mentioned before, super heavy molds, right? These big 300-pound sliding steel multi-part molds, and then we have the liquid red hot dwarvenite is poured in there and they're cast and whatever. So we get once they have the mold tooled, once we've approved all the expanded masters, and when they make the molds, they run a test shot where they run the mold with, they make two copies of the thing and send them to us, so we can make sure everything's great before we pull the trigger on casting a bazillion of them unless you want. So the test shots it's fine. It's the first time we actually hold a dwarvenite version of the piece, like this, the factory final version of the piece that you're going to get. And so it's really exciting, especially because it's like this thing was, when was Wildlands? I don't even know. It was like 9 months ago.
September.
It ended in August.
August ended like the first couple days of September.
So it's been like 10 months.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's 10 months later, we're holding like the final thing. So it's like seeing it again for the first time. And what's really nice, actually, also, as we get these test shots in, they come in small batches, right? We'll get between 1 and 10 pieces, or whatever. And you get to kind of just appreciate the pieces again on their own in like small batches, and it's really fun. So here is this is the crab lily.
We had it set up.
That tall, 80 millimeter tall. Although this guy is tall, relatively tall for.
He's bigger than a standard mini.
Let me get a standard mini. Speaking of.
This is the crab lily.
I don't know why he's a he. Why do you think?
Yeah, apparently the name's Lily, so you'd assume. He's out of here. That doesn't matter. Is he supposed to win the boar? Let's see, is there anything in the comments I missed? Yeah, the reality is, as nice as we have production in the US, there's a lot of costs associated with it that are difficult.
I didn't know there was a bucket of terrain there.
Oh, yeah, we tend to just have a lot of pieces.
That's an understatement.
Sitting around.
So he's about 2 Gygaxes high for scale. Standard unit of measure. Gygax.
Does it have stamens or pistols? Oh, we're trying to figure out what the gender is. Does it have stamens or pistols? Do you know what either of those things are?
It's a weird. Yeah, it's the center portion of the flower.
Do you know which one is which?
Yeah.
Which is a stamen and which is a pistol?
I think the stamen was the central thing. The pistol were the little fronds with the fuzzy bits on them.
I think.
The what?
We need Eli, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He would.
Yeah, Eli would know.
Well, actually, it's technically. Yeah. No, I think it's got a. I don't know, a gooey center, a nougat core. It's a.
Congratulations! It's a Snickers.
That
is looking really good. That was one of the last pieces we had ready, I think.
Yeah. The race, Nina was racing to get this guy done.
Wasn't it also a situation where like Crab Lily was supposed to be a placeholder name, but then we just wound up using it?
Well, it felt like the thing. It was originally. I think this was the Gloomgorger turned into the Crab Lily, turned into like I don't know. There was some of the things evolved as it were. So that's a fun nasty little plant to do some torment your players with. You fit it in there. Oh, you can actually ride a guy on top, can you?
That'll look great next to the poison bloom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, right? The plants that we did with Plague Stone were kind of meant to
Well,
fit in with this stuff.
Nina sculpted both of them, so
Yeah.
there's definitely some.
She's really good at
like-
just like twisted, dangerous looking things.
Yes, she is queen of that. So I think that's the only unpainted thing we have to look at. I don't remember which of these we've looked at. I've got a bucket of the painted bits, and I can't remember which we've looked at and not. Did we look at these stump lumps painted?
It's
Already?
honestly really hard to tell.
Yeah. We've got. I can't remember if we looked at the end cap.
I feel like we saw the end caps.
I don't know. I can't. But I don't know. So these are. I may remember seeing them unpainted, but I can't remember. So here are.
Since we're going to terrain, we'll just go to the big.
These are the large stump lumps, and they are indeed large. Right? And they've got the little. They've got the paired peg holes. There, if you want to attach your bridge or something to it. And these are for our. Of course, I don't actually have a modular tree right here, but these are to hold our modular trees.
They're both large stumps, right?
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the swamp, large swamp, and large forest.
Crab Lily could make vegan crab cakes. Just needs
Ooh.
some Old Bay. I haven't had a crab cake in so long.
Crab cakes are delicious.
Oh.
We got. I don't know if we looked at these escarpment end caps painted or not.
It's we have so many of these like
Various rock
and
bits.
plant pieces that it's hard to remember
Yeah,
which of them specifically we've seen.
I know we haven't seen a painted glam leaf. Some of the rocks definitely fall. It's hard to remember exactly where we're at. So we got nice little steppy spots for minis here. And this is there's a vertical port for a driftstone or whatnot there, kind of hidden away in the rock nook. See?
Nice.
And this guy's got its little paired peg holes there too, so you can connect a bridge or something between these, put it off a thing. I don't even know what people. There's so many paired peg holes and things. It's gonna be so exciting to see all the weird contraptions people do, weird connections. I don't remember if we looked at the Aaron Thor pieces or not. I don't know. I know we did look at the fox.
I don't think anybody's gonna complain about seeing them again is the thing.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna leave a bucket of painted rocks.
Just a bucket of rocks.
What was I talking about a bucket of rocks the other day? I feel like you were cracking up when one of these meetings. I was just saying how awesome a bucket of rocks is. Like you.
Oh yeah. We're talking about the Aaron Thor reconfiguration that's coming in.
I was just like, who doesn't need a bucket of rocks? Everybody, a bucket. You use it for everything. It's a bucket of rocks. It's like everything. Rocks everywhere. Rocks. Because it's true. You use rocks everywhere. It would be, found the. All right, so these are the Aaron Thor Cliff expansion pieces. Right, so this guy, you can do a little cantilever, dangerous overhang, or flip it over for some gentle step up. This is an alternate concave, which also has a nice little step. Oh, it doesn't fit. Oh yeah,
There's a lot of playable space on these pieces.
Playable space is a big consideration in what we do, Chris. Turns
Are we supposed to use these with games or something?
No. They're strictly for playing with your kids.
I just want you to know the last 5 minutes, the chat, like the only thing the chat's been doing is
Crab
talking
cakes?
about crab cakes versus lobster rolls and the best way to prepare either one.
Not how awesome a bucket of rocks is. I am disappointed. They don't understand. A bucket of rocks is everything everybody needs. Got this little 1x1. Anybody that's got the Aaron Thor realizes how excited they're going to be about this 1x1. And this alternate corner, which also makes it kind of softens out edges, and it's going to just let you do like, this is, I can't wait for all these pieces in hand for everybody. And we got the little ledge, the Aaron Thor ledge, little 1x1. I guess it's perfectly on here.
Looking forward to my new rocks.
Seriously, you are going to use these rocks all the time. They rock. I was lamenting about not having a modular. We got the creepy branch. This guy could go fight the crab lily.
Oh, that was something I should put in the news. I forgot about this. Matt took over.
News
Matt,
number 2.
Matt took over the Critical Role Instagram today, and he actually showed off the map room where he builds all the stuff. So all of his Dwarven Forge storage and stuff was there.
His workshop.
Topulus actually recorded the videos off of their Instagram story and posted it in the Discord.
Fun
for people. Yeah.
I may have rifled through his drawers.
You wanna rephrase that?
No, that's I meant what I said.
All right. That's fine.
Yeah, but I visited the studio and he showed me the workshop and I was like, let me see how these are organized. And pulling out, he can pack a lot into a little in those little drawers. He's got a heck of a lineup. It's really cool.
All right.
Yeah, it's a fun. He's got a wall of DF, but also interesting. He doesn't have like a mega collection. Like he has a very.
Seems like he's actually very selective about what he gets, as opposed to just.
Well, he's got almost everything, but he doesn't have, he doesn't have 47 diagonal walls. He's got like 20 diagonal walls. He uses all 20 of them every time, but he's like it's like he doesn't have giant crates of the thing. It's like what'll fit in a drawer is like he has enough to do his 2x2 things. It's like a very but he has everything and just small amounts of everything that you can just like it's like. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I guess
he might have a future in this business.
It really does just come down to like the kind of building he does. Yeah, because he usually does 2x2 battlefields as opposed to like a Joe Manganiello filling an entire table.
Yep.
Situation.
It's the rocky outcrop with a little splash of Wyverstone. Bing.
Nice. Big 2x2. Any 2x2 fans in chat?
I'm a 2x3er.
Yeah.
That's my ideal. Because you know the problem with 2x2? Monks.
Hands of blue. Oh yeah.
Anybody that has anything other than a 30 move is like just suddenly becomes I don't know, like there's just not enough space. Like you gotta give monk room to run. Right, you just need anybody that has a lot of movement. You need 2x2 is just too constraining.
Don't adopt a monk unless you've got like a nice yard for them to run around in.
Yeah, free range monk. Like you need 2x3 is really not even enough. You really need to go 4x4. As soon as you got any serious monk, you need a little something.
I still remember. Well, even when you made that, I still remember when we were doing like a play test pretty early on, and I was playing my monk. We were like at a high enough level that I had my improved movement so I could run across water.
And you crossed like the whole build in one. It was awesome.
I moved I think 120 feet. Yeah.
It was like a step of wind ready to cross the thing, but you were alone. Like that was the cool thing was I
was alone and I failed the strength check at the end of it. So then I was just knocked prone and.
But it was it would let you do the cool thing and then it made the encounter that much more dynamic because now suddenly you were like way out here and the thing and it was awesome. Like it was really and it also. When the players can use their things and feel cool about it, like it's the best. Like having all this water where everybody else is like slogging through waist deep water and whatever, and you're just like across the surface of it. It's awesome. For a moment, you were like, you remember that moment. Like
I think it's the thing, and I guess looking back at it, like if it was all theater of the mind, like that wouldn't have the same appeal of being able to go. Like they're just like, it's about 100 feet. It's like. Cool, I'm going to cross that, as opposed to just being like a thing.
There's rocks and logs and things, and you're zipping around over
it feels a lot cooler to just be able to like cross difficult terrain when you can actually see the difficult terrain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and sort of weave your way around it and meaningfully choose where and how you're going. Got an LED socket rock. I don't think it has. Does it have the hardware? Oh, it does. I should get a socket for a. I'll put that in my to-do. And we got the, this is the magnetic boulder. Don't these guys look like it's like an Abbott and Costello thing or something? Like,
yeah.
Hey, so, this boulder shoulder was like, you should go to the rock gym.
yeah, I don't know. I was trying to think of an Abbott and Costello routine other than the who's on first and then try and turn it into a rock thing. And then it just fell apart. Anyway, we got rocks.
It's probably easier to do the 2 10s for a 5 routine.
Yeah. 2 pebbles for
rock gym.
The old rock gym, where you go lift other rocks. And
I'm intimately familiar with it. I played a lot of Pokemon Red when I was a kid.
A lot of what?
Pokemon Red.
What's
Pokemon Red and Blue, the first gym is the rock gym. That's where Brock comes from.
Brock is from a rock.
Brock is a rock trainer.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It all. Yeah.
It's not Ibsen, but it's
It's not Tolstoy, but it
Yeah.
it has some depth to it.
It's not Tolstoy, but Squirtles are real cute.
I've learned they are adorable.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot of secondhand knowledge about Pokemon last year.
Have your kids
I've
gotten
also
into
learned that have my kids what?
Have your kids gotten into it?
Yeah, they're in and out of it. Yes. I also learned. I watched the Reaper Twitch stream yesterday. Hear about all their shipping woes and whatnot.
It's hitting everybody right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have like they have a very professional setup. They're like
Reapers?
people they're like there's two like they're a little more buttoned up than some of us over here.
Yeah, I wonder who.
Not that I don't know.
No, Reaper's running like a extremely good
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are the transition banks, which are just MVP bank pieces, because you can use them as an alt straight, you can use them to taper off, you can use them at the end of an island. Meanwhile, I'm talking about Pokemon while we're I blame you, Chris. We were really on target until you started talking about Pokemon. I think
that's when we went off the rails. Yeah.
We went off the rails right there.
Let's not bring up the drawers again.
No. Dude, I mean, come on. People out there, did you want to hear about Matt's drawers?
Yes.
What's in his drawers? It's a popular
Still when they were
topic.
doing narrative telephone and Liam behind Liam, he just had like a wall full of like Sterilite containers stacked on top of Sterilite container with Dwarven Forge in it.
In a pyramid, like a ziggurat of power.
Yeah.
How
do those look churned on their side and put next to a cliff?
These guys like yonder?
Yeah. We've never tried that, but
Something like that. Damn good.
that's actually okay. Yeah. So now put the other end
Wow.
cap and the other
Like a
ledge.
bandstand?
Well, no. So like put the other end cap next to it
yeah,
and then
I
the
see
other
what
ledge so that it goes down.
It's very like Scotland or something.
Yeah. That works better than I expected.
I am William Wallace. That's totally as intended, Chris.
Yeah. That actually.
That's awesome. Throw that on a
actually
water
works.
train tray and like you got here. Wait, I have one right here.
Yeah.
I don't have a modular.
Quick hi from France. Really love your work. Thank you, Yellow Stark.
Wait, what happened from France?
Just quick hi from France.
Oh.
First time viewer.
You should go back
I'm really
to
glad
neighbor
Twitch-
Simon Miniatures. He's
Twitch recently
It's
started this
awesome.
thing where they highlight when somebody's posting
so
in your chat
cool.
for the first time, and it's really nice. It's like being able to see when somebody's new.
How did you find out about our stream?
I think a lot of
And
people.
why are you watching it?
Why are you still here after hearing us talk about Pokemon? And
Yeah, that looks really cool.
they're just here for the
That's a
lobster
good
roll
idea.
discussion, I think. Yeah, that's actually working pretty well. There's one of those
love
hidden
it.
synchronicities extra credits was talking about.
Yeah, you can do this too if you want to put your.
Yeah, I never thought about using
Yeah,
them that way, but it actually like with the way the dead sides work, like that works pretty well.
You could get crazy and do like a vertical. I don't know what I have to double high build. For it.
Just like moss. Yeah, like if you have like a sheer cliff wall, you just have like moss running up the side or something.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
That works surprisingly well. Man, I probably needed more end caps. The end caps are lifesavers.
Oh, these things
Yeah.
you need more. I don't know how many you have, but you need more. No, that's like seriously like these. I use these so much in the builds because listen, if you're doing a run with banks and you want to end it, you just use this to terminate it. It just peters off into nothingness. If you're running out of straights, you do your run and do boom, you go back out to banks. If you want to come off of a trifecta, let's say you're doing a build with trifectas and you want to go from trifectas to banks, you use this to go from trifectas to banks. You use it at the end, you want to have it on an island, end of your island, you use this thing. You can use it as a turn. You can put them around the outside of if you've got some land. Do you have a piece of land? Yeah. This was like a piece of land. You can use it as a curve. You could these things do everything. They are they should have the guest star appearance on the Reaper stream because they're that good.
If only we could keep banks in stock. Hey, we're working on it.
Yeah. No.
Reconfigurations.
That's a sick burn. that hit me. It hit me hard.
There's gonna be a pack of
It's
these.
true.
Yeah, those
You
were.
put them in between the trifectas. You like. I mean, these you need more of these right now.
Yeah, so you'll be able to get these when they hit the store. Like basically every
No,
pack
these are going to sell out immediately when
they'll sell
realize.
out fast. But every pack that we offered in the Kickstarter, there will be surplus stock of it in the store when it all goes up. We're not going to be able to restock every single pack,
Never.
but stuff like banks, like we're making an effort to come up with configurations that will let us keep those in the store because you always need more banks.
Oh,
right?
I heard Banksy's popular, so we gotta.
All right.
All right. We got ourselves a concave here, right? So this guy is another MVP. Well, first of all, look at this beautiful little puddle. Oh,
Yeah, I didn't even know that was there. It really makes it pop.
Yeah, this thing, and this is the cool thing about this too. It's got the little got the paired pegs. Man, I don't know where words are today. So you can use it as a bridge between, say, of course, it'd help if I had. We need an on the Anvil cart that has. I need my. You know what I need? Is near my workbench at home, right? Where I have. Right here are the paired pegs, and here I need a tree. I've got them here. Like there's everything. I can reach just about everything from there. So if I need the pair of pegs, I can grab it. Here I've in a giant black room with nothing.
Yeah, we should definitely have an easy way to access CBS pegs, paired pegs.
Just a little accessory cart that has all the things that I sort of regularly use. A couple pole accessories, a couple LEDs, a couple
some kind of utility belt.
Yeah, a little rolly. So anyway, so this
Reaper would have a cart.
Oh, dude, they would not only have a cart, it would be like titanium, and it would be like, it would have cool stickers on it, and it would have like a remote control thing that would open up the different drawers, and it would have a giant pirate ship on top
it monitors stock. It monitors
6 feet long.
It monitors stock for you when you run low on something. It automatically puts it in order for more.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it would be. I'd like to order 2 of those carts, please.
Let's see.
This guy. So back to our friend the concave. Yeah, nice paint.
Really happy with how this piece came out.
Oh, this piece is like, Toby worked really hard on the geometry of this piece. Like he wrestled this thing like it was a bear.
I also feel like it was one of those things that was kind of hard to do justice with prototypes.
Yes. Well, because the fit was so important. Right? Yeah. So this thing, what's cool about this is, right? So it when it's all plugged up, you can use it as a straight, or not so straight. You can use it as a 90-degree. See if I can do it without a real. I don't have real escarpments here. I've got these ones, right? So you can use it as a concave corner, the 90-degree corner. You can use it as a straight if you're doing some sort of straight run. You can use it as a fill, like if you have a whole area of escarpments, the top is a 3x3, so it can be just a whole platform up there. You could build around it and make it like the center of a, if you did some cool big thing there, and I don't know, I don't have enough cliffs to do something around it, but build it up, and then you can pop out. You can pop out this guy. This is magnetic, so you can put magnetic accessories on it, like a lever or whatever.
This might be one of the most featured pieces. There's so many different things.
Becomes a tunnel like here, or you pop this out so it becomes a negative space tunnel. So if you want to have the water, you build a cliff and have your banks going, and this leads you to the water, to the underwater, the underwater river that takes you into the caves. But this thing, it's just this piece once again. If you have many concaves, you need more. Not as more as these. Like these things need super high multiples, but this, like, you need it. You need like at least 6 of these things.
6?
I was gonna say 12, but I cut it in half because.
Thank God you brought it down to a much more reasonable number.
Yeah. I'm looking out. I was like, well, Reaper would say 12, so I got to go down to 6. Good there. Also, Reaper's concave would be this big, and it would be.
Get 2 and put 1 upside down to make a larger rounded cave.
Yes. Right. Make a huge Yeah, people can do all sorts of cool.
It's like burrowed into a tunnel.
Yeah. Well, you could also, if you had
some beast is just like burrowed straight into a rock.
Purple worm thing or something. If you had, if you dress up the sides, it could be like a huge fissure. It's like, whew. Yeah.
There are infinite things we can do with these pieces.
Yeah, this guy's.
However,
yeah.
it's already
I can't wait to
7:50.
see- Oh yeah, all right.
So
we
let's
got a. I don't know if we saw this guy. This guy. Man, what is the time? I think that's all. Oh, wait, did I show the tripwire? This guy.
Oh, you didn't know.
Yeah. So
I didn't
this
see
is
it painted yet, actually.
the proper color. Let's get in tight.
Looks nice.
Oh my.
Oh, hey, Theos is here.
Hey, Teos. Did we announce that he's doing a thing?
We haven't. One of the things I was going to tell you is we could actually
So-
every month or so, or every couple weeks, we could do an announcement about one of the.
So
things.
Mr. Alpha Stream Teos Abadia, man, I can never. I think I said his last name right. Abadia. It's a tricky one.
Well, he can correct us in chat.
Yeah, it's
if,
true. Right. Teos Abadia did writing for the third time, thrice for us. He's written Dungeon of Doom, Cameras Deep, and now Wildlands.
He said he got it right.
Just awesome, awesome designer, really nice dude, just all around great gamer. Also, I don't know if you have you ever heard of podcasts? There's this new rage. These iPods came out.
A
You
new
can, like,
rage. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get this thing on your iPod where people talk to you for like hours about nothing.
We should think about making one of those.
We're kind of doing it right now. I think it's a big
Kinda.
a podcast. But he does a podcast, Mastering Dungeons, with Sean Merwin, which is really awesome. It's like the informative version of what we're doing, but about D&D.
No
information.
long tangents.
No, it's on target, and they cover all the news, and then they dissect all the books, and there's all this like useful information, and it's an hour long, and then they're out, and it's every week.
But do they have a cool animation for the news?
Well, it's theater of the mind animation. Like I envision it as they.
That's fair.
They go into their news stories. But anyway, you should check out his the Mastering Dungeons podcast is great.
People are checking to see how many concaves they're getting in their pledges now.
Yeah, you better concaves and the transition banks. You really need.
Six is like, well, I'm getting 7 of them apparently. I don't even know how.
But Teos wrote a really an awesome arc for the forest. Can I say what the end, the boss fight is? Is that
So
too
here's what
spoilery?
I was thinking.
Yeah.
Since we're gonna have 6 different writers for the
Yeah.
Wildlands written content, when we have the splash page done for each one, we do a separate announcement for each writer and the arc that they're doing with the splash page and the title and what it's about and stuff like that.
So I can't say what the boss fight is.
I mean, you
yeah.
can just for the audience here if you want to.
It's bonkers. It's fun. We'll save it. It's a good one to look forward to. But it's it's a really you don't want to go. It's a fight you don't want to roll into lightly. It's awesome. Teos is brilliant. And a longtime DF fan and yeah. What was I? Oh, I think we got it. Did we look at everything? Where are we?
I know there's
I
at
think
least
we
a
got
couple things we haven't shown yet.
Oh, I didn't show these. Oh yeah, we did it. Banks. I mean, trifecta ledges.
I somehow have 11 concaves. Same scenario. How did I end up with so many?
Yeah, 11's perfect. Perfect. You're a little short. Well, 12 would be better, but I think you'll make do with 11. It's good. You're on it. Teos coached me through my first live stream game. My first live stream game was for Chris Perkins, Holly Conrad, Adam Bradford, Satine Phoenix.
Is that the one?
That was the Origins one. That was the first game I ever streamed.
Was that the one with the blood?
That's the one where I got blood in Chris Perkins' eye. I was like, I don't know, Teos, do I need to worry about this streaming? Guys, no, just have a bunch of set up the people to say a bunch of funny or stupid stuff, and you'll be fine. I was like, oh, perfect. That's what I do normally. It was sage advice. He was like, just give players things to say funny stuff about, and you're in great shape. Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of hard. It's a set the high bar for your first stream game. From there, it's like, well, I don't know. What do you do from there?
Yeah, you do that one with
Once
Jack
you've
Black.
made an enemy for life out of Chris Perkins, like where do you kind of peaked, right?
Still waiting
Like,
for the day that he
number
decides that he's going to ruin our company
one. Yeah.
just to get back at you. Come into the office and there's just pig's blood smeared all over the walls.
All right, so we got one more thing to look at. So teaser, you ready? Is everybody buckled
Yeah,
up?
let's do it.
They have their. Oh wait, no, I take it back.
Oh.
We have. Oh, wait. So we have.
Oh, everybody's favorite.
So guess what's back? Is Real Arte watching?
I think so.
Well, guess what? We've doubled the shimmer on the shimmer frond. It now has UV reactive paint, which of course we don't actually have a black light here.
That worked?
I don't know because we don't have a black light here, but
we don't have any way to.
Conceptually, so unless you've got, you really want to make sure you have at least 50 shimmer fronds in your order, or you're gonna regret. You can't have a rave without 50 UV reactive shimmer fronds. I mean, I heard at Reaper they ordered at least 200. So the bar is set pretty high, guys. Anyway, so that was a suggestion I think on the thing we.
I think somebody.
It was on the Anvil.
Yeah, and then we went to. Yeah, and then I went to Erin right after that, and I was like, "Hey, do you think we could make the fronds like UV reactive?" And she ordered some stuff and tested it out. And
yeah, well, I'll have to take a picture and put it on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yay, shimmer frond. Originally this was supposed to be an LED piece originally, but we couldn't get these were supposed to glow with but we couldn't get the light to travel up far enough, and the base there's just a whole bunch of problems. That's why it's called the shimmer frond. But now it's just a colorful fade piece and a lot cheaper because it doesn't have. Oh, I need to keep that separate. All right, now you ready? Are you buckled up for some?
What UV paint did you go with? I'm actually not sure. I'd have to ask her, but I know she was testing it out. Yeah, we should get.
I think it's called Trippin' Balls Blue. It's a.
Actually?
Yeah, no, but that should be what it was called. If I was designing UV reactive paints and was in charge of naming them, well, funny enough, so this arch, this arch piece on the packing slip, from that customs had to check, and on the list of pieces, the number one piece was 1X big ass arch. which was a working title that I may have thrown in there at one point, but
that's you don't know how it made it to
at the factory. That's what it's like. You're on the manifest. This is big ass arch. So according to U.S. Customs, we have imported 1X big ass arch.
Can you put Gary in there for scale?
So yeah. So yeah, it's a big ass arch, but it's the moonlit arch. But anyway, so this is our resin. This is the piece that Michelle did. Resin, limited edition or special edition resin. Can we even get this whole kit and caboodle? Yeah. Yeah. And boom, put the whole thing together.
I'm so happy with how the paint came out.
It's outrageous. This is like, yeah, I would not have been able to tell the difference between this and the one that Hamster painted. So here's the whole thing assembled with a Gary 4 scale. So then let's look at the pieces individually. We'll start with
they're asking if we have some other runes to set around it.
Not painted. Well,
we haven't gotten the painted test shots back yet.
But we don't. Well, you know what I'll do? When we get the painted, we'll do a little thing when we get the painted ruin samples. We'll do a little.
Yeah, we might as well match it to factory paint just to.
Yeah. Can you pan this? Yeah. I don't know if you can see that. So we're changing. There's a weird yellow glue in there that gives it a yellow, which is changing. But there's like a prism. It's a cool prism effect. I don't know if you see the little rainbows shooting around. There's little rainbows. Woo!
Oh, we're getting like a really cool glint off of it as you spin it.
Yeah, the griffin. And believe it or not, the two griffins are slightly different. Of course, we have the freedom of casting in resin. Like you see, the beak is chipped off on this one. So you get two griffin pillars with it, a nice 1-inch base. Look how tall they are. So you can use those. Whoops. You can use those to, I don't know, put anywhere. You don't just have to use them in this. Different plants on them and everything.
People are losing.
Anybody who didn't order about 200 of these is really going to be upset.
Is that the appropriate amount for?
I mean, we only sold like 350, so I don't think anybody ordered. Yeah, if you one, I think is the magic number on this one.
Kodiak's here and says it looks cool.
Kodiak. I hope you are continuing to recover. Wonderful to hear that you're here, joining the warmth of this awesome community.
More crystal tops in the future, please.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, right?
How cool would it be to just have like maybe a smaller scale version of this to just love these pillars for like cities?
It's a classic Michelle. Like she's always thinking of neat little touches. A lot of pieces that have little chains and jewels and gems and I don't know. Ooh, there we go.
That's a really good glint. Oh wow.
Dude, Ray is doing After Effects live right now. It's okay. Then we got the base. This thing is. Look at that. So you want to hear the sad news? I have to kind of show it. Let me see. Hold on a second. This will never be in Dwarvenite, which is also kind of sad. Probably never a production run again either after this.
Yeah, after all the stuff with the resin factory. In Dwarvenite soon, right? Unfortunately, we can't. These pieces are too big and unwieldy to cast in Dwarvenite. Like we could only do this because it's in resin. Hear him rustling around in the headphones. Imagining a map with that arch on one end and the resin portal from Hellscape on the other. Yeah. How about the resin factory? A resin factory closed down.
I guess. So they're not painted, but for scale, I got some ruins too. So here's the one tragedy of this piece. Michelle painstakingly designed this so that it would take the dais. But you ever heard of shrinkage, Chris?
Unfortunately, my whole life, yes.
We're experiencing it right now. So resin shrinks a spickle. Dwarvenite. Well, Dwarvenite also shrinks, but we make expanded masters that are slightly too large, so then they shrink back down to whatever. And so it worked back when they were both in the same casting material. Now that this is resin, it's a really hard sell to jam. You can kind of force it in there, but
well, they're all just quoting Seinfeld now.
Well, the shrinkage episode's
it was in the pool.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
So you can fit it in there, but it's not pretty, and it might chip off some of your paint on the dais, or whatever. But the dais, I mean, it does sort of fit there, but it's such a shame because it worked. And look at the moon lines up in there. It was just a tiny. I mean, if you wanted to get, no, I guess that'd be terrible. Let's say
if you're crafty.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what was it? I was gonna drill.
Okay.
Do I do it with our only existing master?
No, okay. You don't do it with our only.
Well, you don't even know what I'm gonna do. You don't.
You're not doing anything involving a drill with our only master.
Maybe. Well, okay. Well, look at the rest of the stuff that I'll tell you what I was thinking. So, so this is the. I don't know. It's gorgeous. I don't even know what to say about it besides what I work.
I'm wildly impressed with how the paint came out.
Yeah, it's really is a masterpiece.
It looks more decayed than the standard runes.
Also, it's somehow they managed to make it hollow, and I don't know how. Look at that, number 1.
Nice. That's a collector's item. It's gonna be worth a lot of money someday.
Yeah, well,
it's worth a lot of money now.
Once I drill through it, it'll. Then we have the big ass arch here, the official moonlit arch of the moonlit arch, and they put, so I don't know what's happening here. There's about an 1/8 inch thick EVA foam foot on here, which really irks me because it's too thick, and it should be like this has this really nice felt that's super thin, right? It's like 1/3 of a millimeter. So it's just feels great on the hand, but it's like this, for whatever reason, there's these EVA feet on here, which we're gonna rip off because they're just no good. Because it makes it a little wobbly. So anyway, that's what I wanted. I kind of want to I want to put CBS peg holes in here to peg it so it's vertical, so it doesn't.
Everybody's decided that we should sign it and give it away.
No, it's the only one. Like we
maybe sometime in the future.
Once we have more, we can do some crazy giveaways. You know what we'll do? Here's what we'll do. This is my promise to you, the viewers. Is Jay watching? Okay, we're gonna.
Oh no.
So when Wildlands is finished shipping, right? When we finally finish shipping Wildlands in 2024, we will We'll
You can't say that.
Okay. I don't know. Well, it's so beyond our control. I don't know what shipping is going to be like in the thing, but whatever. Whenever Wildlands is finally done shipping, we'll do like a giveaway bonanza. Like we'll do an episode. We'll give away a bunch of these prototypes. Like once all the stuff is out there, we'll give them like some.
It can be
cool
like that Caverns
castings.
Deep mega build stream we did. We'll make like a couple events out of it. We'll get the whole team involved. We'll just make it like a fun day of activities.
And we'll do some things. You get some like a bunch of chances to get some like cool like the first casting of a thing or whatever. Like some neat stuff. Oh, drill some holes in things and sign them in.
They're saying they're greener than it's expected. I think that might be the color temperature. It does look more green on the screen than in person, I think. Yeah. So I think it's a bit of
it definitely feels exactly like the paint master we sent to them. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe it just looks slightly greener than
it looks more decayed than the standard runes.
It's ancient. It's been around for a bazillion years. So we got this little we got this tree that comes with this guy that snuggles right up there. You can use. So if you get, if you have 12 of these, want to line them up, you can use the trees on some and not on others, so it gets a little more verisimilitude.
Don't drill my arch.
Who did 6 win this? Is that what's happening?
Deacon Dragon. I think he's like, no, I'm gonna win that someday, so please don't drill it.
Okay. But I know I want to kind of put a peg so that you can get a super rigid arch. I wish we had like a cool insert of this energy thing. Anyway, so this is the I think those are all the pieces.
You could probably have we tested that sizing with like the gyre from like the Hellscape portal?
No, but I think it's narrower.
There is that gyre that comes with the threshold.
That one's too wide also.
Too wide also. Okay.
I'm building a thing that nobody can even see. What's neat? So here's these are the unpainted ones. You could do a neat thing where this lines up here, and you can use it as like a.
Apparently, the vine on the tree is a snake.
Yes.
Oh, awesome!
It's a.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, where's his head? Her head there. Head in the back.
Nice.
Yeah, Michelle wouldn't just make a vine. That is a snake. That's like a big snake, right? That's like that's like
big.
2 Gygaxes long. Oh, it's a snake.
That snake could eat 2 Gygaxes.
Gygaxi? Okay. Whatever. Yeah. According to my son, anaconda can go up to 27 feet long. So
nice.
Maybe this is a baby anaconda.
I was wondering why the vine was so thick. Yeah, it's a snake. Snake.
Also, this is, you could just like freestand this up in any other. It wants to be flat against a thing, but you could. I don't know. There's other places you could put it.
I'm excited to see people take those griffin pillars and put them in city builds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And this guy, like, you could, let's see. I guess you could do a thing like this. All right, we'll get a painted fans. We'll do a fun thing. All right, but let's talk about cities.
Sure. Before that.
Oh yeah, what do we have? Wow, it's 8 o'clock already.
Yeah, giveaway and fan build. Let's
give it away.
Run that stuff real quick. It's supposed to be 8, right? Yeah, right. We started at 7, not 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's our giveaway word is shrinkage.
Okay. So here's the deal.
It very personally, Chris.
This is an internet. Thought we talked about this. So this is an international giveaway. Anybody in the world can win a $50 US dollar American gift card. Anybody that types shrinkage in chat is eligible to win this. If you're in the US, you can also choose to get a basic Caverns Core set instead, if you prefer that, or you can take the gift card.
And run.
Yeah, so if you want to enter that, go ahead and just put shrinkage in chat. And while that's happening, let's go ahead and look at a fan build. This one is from the build challenge this month. They're doing, it's like an above and below diorama.
Wow.
And yeah,
yes.
This is by Orloff, who is watching the stream for the first time tonight. So that's very good luck. But yeah, just really
insane.
Really making good use of the magnets in the pieces, and
that is insane.
Yeah.
The fact that they love this.
The fact that they got the terrain trays to stand up that straight is pretty impressive.
Is there a brace on the back?
I think there's I think they said they put some clamps on the back, but I think also the magnets are helping. He clipped he clipped them on the back. DW is saying.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I love seeing the Hellscape minis just like make their way into
Totally.
yeah.
Well, there's Forsaken Temple in there. Housekeep. Those Lemur pools are just, man, that's such a fun monument. You can't do this on graph paper.
You really can't. Well, okay, what if you got 3 sheets of graph paper and 2 of them are standing on their side? And
look at the stairway sideways. How do you even do, like, this is awesome.
yeah, I'm really curious if the idea was to use like gravity rules where I wonder how I guess you could put like white stick on the base of your minis, you can actually have them standing on the sideways stuff. Or if they're just supposed to use the walls as floors so that they can stand on it.
You could do magnets in the bases.
Yeah.
You know, I found magnets in the bases fight anchor magnets.
Yeah, I guess if the polarities
It
don't mess up right.
actually is like a thing. I put magnets in the bases of a bunch of minis. I have this neat little magnetic handle for painting minis, and it's awesome until they they levitate away from the square you want them to be in because of the anchor magnet.
If they wind up having the same polarity, then they'll push off. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it's wild. It actually makes thing. This is awesome.
It's a lot of fun. The build challenge every month. The build challenge in the Discord always like brings some interesting stuff up. So try to highlight those when I can.
I've got to do a crazy 3-dimensional build like this.
We'll be using white stick for the baddies who know the room. PCs get to fall around a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, so do they have to like take a certain path to be able to actually walk on the walls, or? Because I see like because there's definitely a way to, with regular gravity, still climb up to the top. But I'm assuming that like. So is that like a port like on the top right, the floor with the opening in the middle? I'm assuming is that a portal they can go through, or is that just like a pit?
You know what you could do that would be insane?
What?
You ever seen the gag? Have you ever been to like Universal Studios? Anything where they have the rotating room stuff. So it's a camera trick where they have the camera is stationary and the room has all the furniture like glued to the floor and stuff, and the room can rotate. And so then you walk in the room as it rotates, and the camera's static, and it looks like you're just walking right off the floor, up onto the wall, up onto the ceiling, back around. It's unbelievable. Like, the illusion is so cool. You could do, if you're streaming a game, you could do, if you don't have anybody in person, you could take a build, something like this, and have your camera fixed, and you can rotate your camera to indicate where the room would look like it was flat. The floor is now the sideways thing, or flip the room. Something, I don't know. There's some. I don't have it figured out yet, but there's some cool camera trick you could do where like you orient it to the gravity of whatever floor you're on. Use that Vorpal arm. You could just bump around, and like, I don't know how you get all the minis to stick yet, other than magnetic bases and train trays. But like, there's something really neat in there.
There's something there. We'll have to. We're gonna have to do a wild game at some point.
Yeah.
All right, let's roll this giveaway.
Woo!
All right, 90 people have entered. Everybody has a 1/90th chance to win this, and the winner is Arcanist Winterbrand. Arcanist? Is it Arcanist? Arcanist?
I don't know how's it spelled.
They're studying the arcane. Well, it's an Arcanist.
An
right?
Arcanist?
I think it's an Arcanist. Right?
It sounds cooler than Arcanist.
Yeah, I think Arcanist. It's the arcane, but I'm pretty sure it's it's got to be Arcanist.
Tomato.
Yeah.
If you're British, it's an Arcanist.
It's a weird way to spell the 6 of clubs. All right.
Amazing.
Oh, I'm correct. Huh.
Aha.
Being right. Okay, I'm gonna whisper you real quick. We'll figure out if you want the basic Caverns core or the gift card, and what email to reach out to you at. I'll whisper you right now, so you'll be getting a message from me soon. In the meantime, what are we gonna talk about?
We're gonna talk about our awesome sculpting team. We're gonna talk about the future, Chris. We're going to the future, the city of the future,
Nice.
potentially the far future.
Are we doing Eberron?
Yeah. Dude, I love everyone.
Same.
So our next Kickstarter is Cities 2, which also needs a name. Please send your suggestions to ota@dwarvenforge.com. The big news we mentioned a couple weeks ago is we are not launching it this fall because we would like to have completed Wildlands shipping, or at least be well over the hump of Wildlands shipping, right? Like have the Lions share, the Chimera's share of it out before we launch. We'd love to get we just want to have your stuff in hand before we ask for more money for more stuff. And B, we don't want to have to deal with shipping the biggest Kickstarter we've done yet while launching another big Kickstarter. And C, we need more development time.
Yeah.
Just I dream of it being able to do like a 12-month cycle where we can launch, like clockwork every year. But the reality is it takes longer than a year to develop a big Kickstarter. Like
Also
Wildlands is cheating because that was almost 3 years by the time it was all said and done. Between we'd had done a bunch of that development during Caverns Deep, and then we were doing some before we switched to Hellscape, and then we were planning to go, and the pandemic rolled out that bought us an extra. I mean, we also lost a bunch of time because it was a pandemic, but it was a lot longer time. So yeah, so we're not ready anyway. So we don't know when it's going to be. TBD. Because some of it is based on the shipping gods. Poseidon will say the ships may flow again. But when it does happen, it's cities. And what we're going to do, so this will be, some of you may have heard this before already, but we'll give you the whole lowdown. So it's going to be a self-contained Kickstarter, so you don't need to have any of our other city stuff to take part, participate. But it's a lot better if you do have some of the city stuff, right? So we'll have some new bits that are standalone. We'll have some expansions of the old stuff. And a lot of this will play really nicely with the old stuff and with some of our other accessories and whatnot. But you can be brand new. You can drop in. You can buy some stuff. What are you giggling about?
Rabbit's been throwing out suggestions for city names over the last couple weeks, and it's always some weird. Currently, he's saying KS8 Cities 2, How the Wharf Was Won.
I love it.
We've also seen Urban Sprawl, Glorious Cities. Yeah.
How the Wharf Was Won. It's really
How the Wharf Was Won was pretty.
Because we've got docs, so
it's pretty cute.
He's a sharp rabbit. That one.
Yeah.
He's got a future. So we're going to we're gonna build a little bit on some of the old, have a bunch of new. The biggest things we're trying to do is break the blockiness, right? Our original city builder buildings are very blocky, right? Everything is 4x4, it's square, it's homogeneous, everything is it's built in the grid with the streets, and it's all just very square and chunky and blocky. And so we're breaking the blockiness. We're adding more character and weird, things that aren't square, and we're not getting non-Euclidean, but we're pushing there. And we're gonna have better ways to do interior walls, so you can have more options for interesting playable interiors for doing your cool inns and taverns and shops and manor houses and whatnots. Interesting playable. Because I feel like the original city was very sort of exterior focused.
Yeah.
With the exception of the tavern accessories, but it was basically all focused on exteriors / you could kind of make, you could do some interior stuff, but it was very, very much let's build the city that you're in, not the buildings, but the city.
Cities 2, Blockbuster.
Cities 2, The Revenge. So I'm trying to think what the other crucial things that we were trying to do.
Talking about the scaffolding / dock system, probably. Trying to like add more elevation to it.
Elevation.
Yeah.
So we want to have more ways to change elevation, right? Once again, original cities, very flat. We did have the Bridge of Valor, which was pretty dynamite. That's actually one of the last things I figured out, and I was really like I was pretty proud of how that thing came together. Like it was a cool.
It's a
cool
piece
bit.
that I think a lot of people don't know exists and don't know can
should
do everything it does.
They should go watch the extra credits video. We have a nice little shout out to the Bridge of Valor in there. I had thrown a little shade at it, but
it's a very cool piece. But yeah, I think a lot of people don't know everything it does.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it only does one thing really well, but it does it. It looks good doing it. So more opportunities for verticality and multi-level play, both inside and outside. And the other sort of big fundamental design change is we're approaching this as buildings on top of a surface rather than buildings in line with 4x4 square floors. So that being said, you'll be able to build in line and you can mix and match, but fundamentally the idea is assume that most people are going to be building on top of either sculpted floors or a battle mat or a terrain tray or a battle board or a flip mat or a dry erase mat or a pool table or whatever. And which lets you deviate from this 4x4 grid a lot more and have things be more organic and cocked askew. And like, I don't know, if you ever like wander through the streets of Barcelona or something, nothing is square, nothing is level. It's all, this like just, we want to be able to do a cooler medieval city. Or go look at any of the maps in Waterdeep Dragon Heist, right? There's not a single, like, everything's all twisty and turvy, whatever. So that's one of our sort of our big design things. Oh, and then floors. We want to be able to join floors, like particularly second stories and third stories and the like, together, so you can more easily lift a story, lift a floor off as one, or a whole level of building off as a unit, roofs off as a unit, so it's easier to play. You're having a good time over there. What's going on?
Just the chat is ridiculous.
Has it ever not been? Like, we have the best
Cities 2 sequel. Cities 2 the next level.
Ooh, can we spell it SEA? Because it's like waterfront sequel.
That's fair. Yeah. I feel like you're writing a pretty big check that modular ships will have to cash if you put that much emphasis on the water.
I wanted to, but Topulus isn't answering my emails. I keep asking him if he wants to join in and be the captain of our modular boat committee, and he's just like, he's ghosted.
So if there's no ships, it's his fault, basically. Yeah, he's the one holding up development.
That ship sailed, Chris.
Got it.
I gave him a shot, and he was just like, just wouldn't answer emails. So.
Nice.
So, what was it saying? I don't know. The chat is awesome. I don't know. We had, I don't even actually really know how awesome the chat is because I don't get to read any of it. I just get it secondhand through you.
It's very good.
So I think those are our fundamental design things we're doing. So let's pull up some images, and let's start with the folder called Basics.
Do you want me to already have an image up?
It doesn't matter.
The first one? All right.
Sure. Hey, look at this. So I don't know. I pulled a whole bunch of random. I pulled a bunch of kind of random images. This is the kind of stuff that we spend all our time on. Is figuring out. This is just one single corner post, and this was Toby sort of mapping out the dimensions or the specific locations for. We're adding holes, and these are actually, they're now smaller. These were 3.5 millimeter holes. They're now 2 millimeter holes on the sides. But we're adding additional holes onto our corner posts, so you can add facades and skins and things to sort of bits like corbels and hoists and stuff, accessories onto the sides of your corner posts, as well as stack on top of them if you want to, and whatnot. But it's like this, like the time just to figure out the tiny little 1 5/8 inch high corner post is like this mapping. The next, it's like 3 images or 4 images of this. You can skip through it. It's just like just mapping out. These are all the like just locking down on what are all of our dimensions across all of our things, so we have consistency of and like wonderful things like the distance is C minus 27 millimeters. It's like a classic distance, but. The well-known question mark too. That's a really good, very popular dimension we use a lot. So basically, there's a lot of it is like a lot of this film time is just locking down all these parameters, right? Of like this, all these because we're still painfully analog. People, it's crazy how many people, even though I always say all the time is hand sculpted, like people don't know that we hand sculpt. Like every convention. People are like, oh, can I buy the STL files? Or like, oh,
there's no STL. Like, we didn't do this digitally.
What are you guys gonna do for your, are you ever gonna print, just sell the prints or something? Or like, no, it's not. Like, you don't understand. It's not.
Can I make stuff for you? I know Adobe Flash.
Like I'm like, no, it's not. It's all painfully analog. So there's a lot of time spent figuring out dimensions and then like getting our blocks just right, measuring and right angles and all this, so like Miles is just spending all this time just painstakingly millimeter by millimeter lining up like all the clay to make sure like things are great before we go sculpting it. So it's it's an adventure. But anyway, so we've got the two new themes that we're doing is wood, ramshackle wood. Oh, did I forget I don't have the really nice wood pictures in here, do I? Maybe I do.
I don't know. I haven't looked through all the pictures yet.
Yeah. Well, there's some nice ones where you can see actually how kind of ramshackle angle it is, but we'll get there hopefully. So this is like a style. It's going to be sort of a vernacular wood style, right? Just classic plain old wood that you can use for a barn, for a stable, for a bandit shack, for a farmhouse, for a small shop, for a general store, for a pirate bar, for just a wood fence, for whatever. And what's the other side of those? Wait, I didn't have the other side. Yeah. Who organized these?
Oh, there it is. It's just 2 pictures away.
I didn't do it. So these are the back sides of those other walls. The one on the one in the foreground is it's a magnetic wall, and the one in the background is an LED wall. So it has like an extra wide center post, and that'll have an LED socket in the middle there. So it looks like there's a big hefty poster. It looks like you plug in an LED on there and it'll look cool. All right, so then you can go back a couple. So then the I did not do a great job. I was pulling these pictures together like 20 minutes before the thing. So this is we're adding in an attempt to, one of the things we're doing to break the blocks, the blockiness is, and that was the big secret of cities. Thanks for tuning in. All right, we're back.
It says we're back. Let me see if that's a nice Laura Boy commercial.
Actually,
people are getting the 30-second commercial that has to play before. I don't.
You don't like commercials?
If anybody can see this at this point, yeah. Well, I don't like that Twitch made it non-optional. It used to be a thing that you could opt in and out of, and then like a couple months ago, they made it so that
everybody had to do.
I think you have to be a partner to be able to say no ads. It's
well, it's a good thing they've
really
offered us partner twice and then taken it away.
Twice?
Yeah.
It's more than that at this point.
Really?
Yeah.
We qualified more than twice, and it's.
Yep.
That's crazy.
We'll see what happens. All right.
Well, yeah. So I put some more pictures in the tail end of this folder. Hopefully, it'll.
All right. So which one do you want to? Which stuff do you want to go to?
Let's keep going. We'll just go through it linearly.
All right.
So that's a 2x2 floor. So what's going to be great is the 2x2 floors are going to let you basically do what the medieval building system let you do, right? You'll have 2x2s, and because we're going to have the corner posts and little walls for them, you can you can swap them out. You know, if you want it to just be a wall instead of a corner, you pop out the thing. If you want it to be a window or double window or a door or whatever, just swap. And if you really want, like if you're dying for the old medieval buildings, you can just glue the corner posts and the walls in, and then you can have corners, walls, doors, whatever. You know, you can just permanently glue them if you're stuck on it. So we'll have short walls for the short, or I guess we call them narrow. Short. We're using short for height and narrow for width. So narrow walls, narrow window wall, narrow door wall. I don't know if I have pictures of them, but
How does that work with city walls?
narrow walls. Ha ha ha. Let's go next.
All right.
Oh, so this is a corner post, fancy wood corner post. Neat little rosettes there. And the reason there's those it's got the little grooves in the side for to hide the holes for accessories to help make it a little more designed. What else we got? We got the tall posts. We got the short posts. The tall posts are pretty exciting. We're gonna have a bunch of tall walls, so you can do your big great hall and your big whatever, your stable, your tavern room. You just want the grand entrance, Strahd's grand entrance, whatever it is. Your big tall walls. Yahoo! Also good if you're like NPC Charles and want to do photo shoots. Always gonna need to build double high. Like this gives you, make better scenes for your cinematic photos. This is a 2x4 floor, plain wood.
We got a couple new things coming up. Looking ahead. Pretty excited about.
Oh, I see a chat. Why tall posts could you not just double stack? Because we have a floor. So the tall post is the height of two posts plus a floor. So it gives you the full height. When you take a floor plus a double post and a double high wall, it's exactly 4 inches tall total. Versus if you double stacked, you'd be short one floor's height, and then it messes up from there. Keep going. Oh, so now we're into stone. We're gonna have fancy stone. So we're gonna have like this sort of the rustic, raw, rough, ramshackle wood, and then we're gonna have this fancy ashlar stone, this sort of decorative stone there'll be some more plainish versions and more fancy versions, but this is kind of the baseline fancy. Oh, can you zoom in on this one? So this is a fun sample of this is the super fancy floor for the stone that Nina was working on, and this is how painful the process is, right? She'd been working on this thing for, I don't know, a week or two, and she drew the thing out, had it all clean in like Photoshop, dropped it onto the clay, like did a tracing on the clay, then sculpted it, and then was putting this up because she calls the symmetry demons. She's like, how's the symmetry on this? I need fresh eyes on it. So this is like Michelle circling like 3 areas. She's like, these are the 3 areas that I think need work or whatever on thinking. That's a sort of meticulous, like this is the process, the day-to-day of like spending hours trying to by hand make a thing symmetrical at this scale, and then just being so like focused on it that you have to you need fresh eyes to figure out what's going on. Oh, and so you may notice that there are floor holes in all the floors, so that we don't have. So in Cities 2, we had solid floors, we had floors with the stair hole, and we had floors with a trapdoor hole, and inevitably you never had enough solid, or you never had enough of what you're looking for. But generally the solid ones were running out. So we're gonna have inserts for all of these, so you can turn. This can be a solid floor, or you pop out the insert and it becomes a stairwell floor. We'll have I don't know how many we'll do, but we'll have a little trapdoor insert floor thing. You could also use it as a secret hatch or whatever. But it's going to give you, sort of the ultimate flexibility where you don't have to. You can choose what your floor is. It solid, or is there a way through it, or whatnot. And the inserts they're going to be double sided. So there's like a fancy stone floor and a plain stone floor. This is this fancy one. So the insert one side will be fancy, one side will be plain, so you can mix and match.
Will these inserts work with the old floors?
Yes, but they'll look crazy because like this, the insert for this is going to have this really elaborate sculpting thing on it, and it'll look crazy in your regular floor. We may do inserts for the old floors too, which would be nice of us, wouldn't it? Because I don't know, it would be really helpful to turn all your old floors into playable solid floors. Anyway, so this is a fun example of how wonderfully analog we often are. So this is we're trying to figure out, this is a double high wood wall, and we're trying to figure out what facades would look like on the double high wall. Like, is it anything that works? Like, what works and what doesn't? So this is literally Eli printed out, did a sketch, printed it out, cut it out, and put it in front of the clay, just so you could really actually get a feel for what it looked like. So there's like, I think 4 of these in a row. You can sort of skim sort of quickly through. Like, this was trying to figure out like, what do different designs actually look like on the on top of the clay, to sort of see, is this worth pursuing? It was kind of neat. 6x was functionality do the double-sided inserts provide. Double-sided inserts lets us use the same insert piece for both style floors. So you can, you either need half as many, or you can, no matter which kind of floor you're using, you always have a cover for it, rather than having to have specific doubles for each of them.
That's the last picture in this folder.
Wait, refresh. I just put.
Oh, yep, there we go.
Yeah, so those were the wrench. So these are some of the ramshackle walls at more of an angle, so you can sort of see the nice. There's a lot of depth and irregularity and character to these things, so it should be pretty awesome.
Oh, they want me to go back to show the second one of the facades again real quick. This one. Just gonna leave this up for a few seconds. Is there any particular questions about it? You just want to take a screenshot?
Let's go back to the. They're gonna put all this all over the forum.
Cool. And the X's one? This one? Or take a screenshot of this. They just want to get screenshots.
Got it.
So I'm just gonna hold for a couple seconds. Take your screenshots if you need them.
Ka-chink.
Are all these facades gonna be made? We don't know for sure what the facades are gonna be.
Or 2. But it's sort of.
Odds are we're gonna make way more. Odds are we're gonna try out way more facades than we end up making.
We'll try. I mean, sometimes we try 20 designs for one piece. It's wild. Like because it's so much faster to sketch than it is to sculpt. So you want to really make sure you commit to the right thing and make sure the whole thing feels cohesively as a whole. And it's wild. The facades are going to be held with pegs. We have little peg holes in the corner posts. So that was the backside. Go back one. That was the backside of the window wall. So this is the other side of this same window wall flipped around. Nice little.
There's a really good texture to it.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
And just little bits at the bottom that are rotten and whatever. So this is our new door style. We're going to have them sealed at the top and swing open at the bottom. I think it's going to look better. Originally the doors were open on the top and had like a threshold on the bottom. It didn't quite look as good, I don't think. And it was, I don't know, we'll find out what it was essentially so you could place a miniature standing right in the doorway, but it's also weirdly halfway in a square and not and whatever. So I don't know. I think it's going to look better like this, but we'll see when they're done.
Right. So I want to show this again real quick. So to answer the facades, that's what these poles on the sides of the corner posts are for.
These little holes are to hold various things, facades and skins, and various accessories to the sides of the buildings.
And so it's kind of a double-sided thing, or it does like 2 jobs basically. Like one, it lets you dress up the outside of the building more, like to kind of vary the aesthetic, but it also helps hold it together. There are issues with especially when you're building tall, there would be issues with corner posts splaying out sometimes. So
the
being able,
double highs particularly like splay.
Yeah.
So this is gonna like
yeah,
hold
so
things tight. It should be
yeah,
it should be good. For the test we've done, it's really I think it's gonna make everything a little
yeah,
give you cool options too. We're gonna have some neat bits.
yeah.
All right. So what's folder number 2?
Magnetic wall.
Cool. Oh, so this is the journey for a magnetic wall. I just wanted to show you like how many iterations we did. So this was trying to figure out what's the stone pattern. So the top wall there is just the standard field stone wall from KS2. So it's like, okay, if we're doing a double high magnetic wall, what is the stone pattern in there? Because I want to be able to pick out, you know, if you want to know that the thing is that the thing is magnetic if there's a lineup, and B, you want it to feel like if you put something in there, you want it to feel deliberate. So I think there's 10 designs or something in here that we're pushed around on paper of ways.
That looks like a shield.
Yeah. This one felt too much like a boarded up window.
Yeah.
This one was just felt like kind of the middle felt haphazard. That was like a more natural kind of arch shape, but then it didn't feel deliberate enough. This one just felt too willy-nilly, even though it had a central focal point. This one was just too round. Yeah. This is the first one in the upper left is mimicking the original stone wall, which was a terrible idea. Second one was that kind of wing thing, but a little more rough. And there's 2 more variations on the sort of the window / shield thing, which just felt too much like a window or shield. And this was the final, something around this. I think there's one more picture, or maybe this was the last one. Then we go to the sculpt. Nope. The sculpt.
Nice.
Yeah.
People are saying they really like the shield one. Upper right is a wasp.
Yeah,
oh,
it
yeah.
totally looks like a wasp.
Kind of like head on.
Yep.
You can also like kind of look at it as like a dragon's head too, with like the kind of
Or
spines.
spiky thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was fun. Well, we were trying to find something that would look, if you didn't have anything on it, it would look just like a big wall. But if you did, there was a central focal point you could put an accessory on, or sort of no matter what you put it would look kind of neat.
Apparently Michelle sees an owl.
Yeah. But it's like, you know, it's a lot of, like, I sometimes wonder, like we have a team, every 6 months we do a little presentation for the team of like, here's a process. And like, there's not that much to show because it's like, you know, just to get that one, you know, it's 12 drawings just to get that one wall.
Well, especially this early on. Like it's...
Yeah, it's a lot. But what's the folder 3?
Paint.
Oh, so here's some paint exploration, just showing, these are some ideas that Aaron was playing with of ways to approach the fancy stone wall. And what we were trying to do is have something that feels different from the existing, right? We didn't want to do just another gray, right? As the city was basically beige, stucco colored gray.
I really like the middle left and the bottom right. These are all really cool though.
Yeah, variations on sort of weathered, old cream, whatever. And there's close-ups of each one that you can pan through or toggle through. But it's trying to find something that's kind of light, like a different tone, a warmer, whiter tone. We'll power through the, we've got a close-ups. Oh, there was some wood tests of like, here's some different ways to approach wood.
That in there.
So these are each of the different walls, like as close as some of the ideas of different.
Wow. Oh, I love the top of this one.
Yeah.
That looks great.
And
Oh.
so it's all the same sculpts too. It's bonkers, right? You can just there's a lot of different things you can try.
Man, okay, so if nothing else, here's like a bunch of ideas for custom paint schemes if you guys
Yep.
get unpainted. It'd be kind of cool to
is
actually
one
get
wall.
walls for it to make buildings with all these different styles, actually.
Mm-hmm. Well, then here's fire up the camera. We got some more. Here's some. Let's see. So there's some other ones. Those are ones that Aaron painted. Here's some other things. Hamster tried some other different passes on basically just trying to get experimental, like just seeing what, like, let's push the envelope in every direction and see what happens. What if you try painting some of the specific zones? What happens if you do a color? What happens if you get really colorful? What happens if you do like a gradient? The things like just trying, pushing around a lot of different ideas. So this is like, once again, we still haven't landed on a color yet. These are just like, but again, the layers of process is playing with lots of, trying a lot of things, and so you sort of get something that cohesively feels like something as a whole, and different with the, we want to add some different splashes of color to the city.
Yeah. I feel like that just made a very big argument for unpainted, though. Like if you paint like,
oh yeah,
just a bunch of different color schemes.
Yeah.
Next is biscuits.
Ooh, yeah, biscuits. So this is an interesting. So this is our journey to trying to figuring out how to join the floors. So we were originally trying to do paired peg holes. We were going to do 4 paired peg holes on every side of the floor. So centered on every 2 inches was a paired peg pair. So it's 2 pairs of 2 pegs on each side. So 4 holes on each side times 4 sides. So 16 holes in each floor, which was going to be problematic. So then that sort of evolved into the biscuit. And then
biscuits for the Pillsbury God.
Dough for the dough god.
These are Dominoes, not biscuits.
So then we tried. So then we moved to the flat peg, which I think is actually ultimately going to be better. We did those H peg tests. So we were doing paired pegs, and then we were connecting the paired pegs with an H bar, and then we went to flat pegs. So we were trying wider ones and narrower ones. So this is showing. Go to the next slide. I think we should see the.
Apparently, Topulus is saying that these things exist in woodworking, and they are called dominoes and not biscuits.
Well, there you go. There's definitely biscuit joiners. So these are, yeah, no, we have a new name, but we'll get there. So this is sort of early tests on the biscuits. Going to the next.
Oh, go to the next. Sorry, I was looking at you.
This is sort of showing how you need some little tolerances, like the stuff needs to be able to slide a little bit because. So here's the thing: we're not working in ABS. We're working in Dwarvenite's a PVC base, so it's a little bit organic how it cools. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't have the precision of, say, Legos, which are made in ABS. So we can't do, so something like Open Lock or Dragon Lock doesn't work because A, that requires ABS inner bit to hold it, and B, it requires the precision of ABS, and our stuff has a little flex. So we need a little bit of horizontal wiggle room for things to line up, particularly if you're lining up multiple holes on multiple floors. So we have like a millimeter, there's a little gap on either side so that you can, there's a little bit of play east and west, so you can get the floors to line up, particularly if they cool slightly different or whatever. And then...
How do these look when that biscuit slot is on the outside of your building?
Oh, we'll get there.
Yeah.
So this was some really cool tech specs in Chinese of biscuits.
Chinese biscuits.
Yeah. Rare. What's the next? All right. So enter the hot dog. So the biscuit. So the downside with the biscuit was the domino, whatever. Biscuit's just more fun. So the biscuit didn't. The downside with the biscuit was there was no backwards compatibility with our paired pegs, right? We have a whole bunch of paired pegs all over Wildlands. We have the cool docks of paired pegs. The suspension bridge has paired pegs. There's definitely a place for paired pegs. So Eli was like, well, what if the biscuit terminated in pegs? If it was as wide as the pegs are and the sides were curved, and it was like it served as both a peg and a biscuit. And the factory said, you guys are nuts. But so we go to the next one. So it was like, well, what if you just put the holes can we put the holes on the outside of the slots or extend the slot so it ends in holes or whatever, so that you can fit paired pegs into the same hole, swap out a biscuit or a paired peg, right? And that turns out to be the winner. So do we have the next one? Do I have a close up? So this is the hot dog. So it's hard to see in this thing. You'll get to see another picture, but I think Toby called it the hot dog, or maybe the next picture. Whoa, go back to that one. So the idea is basically the whole. It's like a silhouette of a hot dog in a bun, right? So it fits it fits a biscuit in the middle, and it fits paired pegs on either side. So you can attach anything with your paired pegs to these, or your biscuit, or vice versa. So it should be pretty. It should be wild. So then this is showing conceptually how biscuits and paired pegs would play together. That's a dock. That like gray 2x4 in the foreground is a dock attaching with paired pegs to a 2x4, a 2x2, and a 4x4 floor. So it should be conceptually it's going to work. We did a couple of tests and some 3D printed stuff, and we're actually going to tool a floor and cast, make the mold, bite the bullet, make the mold, and cast it dwarvenite and do a full-on test. But we've done some tests so far, and it works pretty well.
Somebody's asking, we didn't really explain why we're doing this system. People are asking like why we need to have these.
This is so we can secure floors, multi-story buildings, so you can lift a floor, story off together. So this in conjunction with our new corner posts. So the corner posts are going to be able to attach horizontally with pegs also. So you basically can have the corner posts attaching horizontally and the floors attaching horizontally. So you'll have it's pretty secure based on the tests we've done. You can like lift off a big section. Like I wouldn't hold it with one hand and like flop it around, but you can like lift it off and be able to do some weird, interesting shaped buildings and lift off a section and get in there for play. It's gonna be pretty awesome.
And the pieces would be too big and heavy to do it with magnets. Like we can't do it with magnets.
The shearing force would kill you on the magnets. Like you need something rigid that's going to we wouldn't have we'd have to have magnets that were so big that there'd be no it would not. Trust me, I love magnets, but it's not it's going horizontally when the force, if our magnets are touching horizontally and the force is going vertically is not doesn't help so much. So then so then we started saying, okay, well, what are we going to do? Someone's asking what are we going to do about what are the grooves going to look like on the side of the floors? Like how do we, if we're going to have hot dog holes on the sides of all these floors, how do we deal with that? So we started exploring different ways to disguise it. So these are like just putting like a little groove like in the whole side. There's like a horizontal groove in the side of the floor, and then those are the sort of roughed in where the hot dogs would go. What's the next one? This was doing it with a parquet floor, and like what the groove and thing would look like. I think it's not going to be so killer, but we will see. This was then saying, okay, what if we embrace it? We just put more holes in the side of it, right? So make it a decorative. Well, it's like make it a decorative feature. Like it's not like we just have the hot dog holes. We're gonna make sort of regular holes around, and it makes it look like it's okay. The wood was deliberately done like this to disguise it. And then this was sort of messing around with the bottom. This was the original side of the fancy floor, and then this is like trying to work a hot dog hole in the side of that. And then there's like starting just drawings of like how do we, what kind of designs can we do to incorporate or mask hot dog holes. There's just like what's cool is a hot dog fits in a diamond. So like you can.
There's a lot of good sound bites from this.
But it's so you can do a diamond that looks like it was done in wood, and then hide a hot dog in there, and it's like I don't know. It's gonna be pretty neat. These were sketches of how to hide designs that could make it feel like the hot dog is part of the design. And then we're back.
That's back at the beginning.
Yeah. So lots of that's our biscuit
Lots of experimentation.
hot dog paired peg.
I like
extravaganza.
I like that we found a way to keep it compatible with the paired pegs though,
Yeah, it's really important. Like it just
because then you can have
well,
the
'cause
bridges
also-
coming off of it.
And there's
You can-
also we want some paired peg things in here. Like Toby has this railing system thing that uses paired pegs in a really clever way. So it's like, paired pegs are they're great for a lot of things, and we've already established that as this. So we're trying to make it all work.
All right.
What do we got?
folder.
Accessories?
Accessories.
Ooh, so this is where you get to see. This is a Michelle showcase. So this is a fun one. This is Michelle experimenting with trying to find the best cloth pattern for like a curtain. All right, so that's 3 different tests of different. She took different materials to press into it to try and transfer the most subtle fabric texture into fabric, like the kind of like, and done a whole bunch of experiments with it.
Michelle's here too, so if you have any questions about it directly for her, Lady Sibel in chat can answer some stuff.
She that's the kind of detail that we're into. Like she'll spend a whole bunch of time trying to find just the right fabric. I think a paper towel was the secret weapon of all things.
What is this? So these are her doing
Texture tests.
Yeah, Michelle's doing texture tests for curtains.
Yeah. And then these are fun. So these are
I need to get one of these for my apartment.
a paper towel. I can get
Well, like a windowsill garden.
Oh, they got a window box.
Yeah.
So this is a really fun. This is
Too many paper towels too.
This is Michelle likes to sketch in clay a lot, where she'll just do she'll real rough jam out a form in clay because it's so much easier to sort of see in 3D, and then we'll take all these things and suddenly find she made this flower box thing that has 4 modular uses. It's unbelievable because so check this thing out. So
Yeah,
go
what
to
are
the
the
next.
uses of
So this
that?
was just a block out of she's like, you know what? It could be a shelf. It could be a flower box. It could be a freestanding shelf. It could be a freestanding shelf with a trough. Philip, go to the next thing. These are all the fiddly bits from Caverns Deep. And then I guess it was just freestanding. And then and then you can turn it up vertically, and it fills up a window hole and becomes a built-in shelf inside your building, or from the outside can board up the building, or you can just flip it upside down and it's like a pallet. Or it's and it fits all the little fiddly bits. So it's like this, and this is all just a rough clay just to figure out geometry, whatever. So it's this one cool little window box thing now does 5 different things for all that one little bit. And then she actually started sculpting it for real. And there's a fun bunch of little bits of all the process, the detail, the spending, figuring out all the wood grain, figuring out all those tiny little pieces to make this one little thing to fun. So then this is another she's just messing around with trash piles and just blocking in geometric forms, which you're like, oh, that's a barrel and that's a crate and that's a thing, whatever. And then playing with roll down a couple things. Right? So it's oh, how do these fit together? Same 2 pieces. How do they fit together? How do they fit together? Are they playable? It's boom, yeah. Can we get a guy on there? Can we get a guy on there? Can we thing all this sort of just really fun sketching in clay
And there's the curtains
to
again.
find how can there be 4 uses for this thing. And wait till you see what these are turning into. It's just awesome. I'm really, really excited because we're trying to get the maximum value out of our accessories. So it's not just oh, we're gonna make a window box. It's no, she's found 4 ways to make that window box. You're just gonna use it over and over and over again. Plus, I don't know. There's gonna be other things. So it's really been fun to find the I don't know. You just go to the thing and she's like, oh, you can do this. You can do this. You can flip it on there. It's I don't know. This is very, very exciting.
Yeah. This is Merc says, "Do you hear the people sing?"
The
This is,
Les Mis?
Les Mis, yeah.
Yeah.
That scene
That's
with the.
not the first. Yeah, there have been Les Mis jokes kicking around on Slack. So I think that's everything I pulled together for. So
There's one roof picture in here.
oh yeah,
I don't know if that
didn't
was an
find the
accident.
rest of them, and yeah.
Yeah.
So we have. Oh, I should show.
Do you have something physical to show?
something. Yeah, let's show something.
All right,
Might as
one
well.
more
Like, people
thing.
stuck around this time. They're like
Yeah.
bringing in from France. They deserve the people deserve
I think it's pronounced France.
something.
All right, I guess one more thing is coming. I don't know what it is. Here's the thing. I'm seeing all this stuff for the first time right now too. None of this was run by me before we started. So I'm potato stream right now. I need to. We pay so much for good internet, and they just keep throttling us. It's very, very upsetting. We're supposed to have like wild speeds, and I can do like a speed test right now. And it will tell me that we're getting really good speeds, but it's still throttling this. And I've checked all the settings. It's nothing here. Like, yeah. Going forward, all fiddly bits must fit in the flower box. Here's the thing, and it was running well for the first bit of the stream, and then I saw it tank. Like, I see it there. They cheat speed test. Exactly. It's really annoying. Internet service providers are it's like the mafia, honestly. How about something from North Dakota, USA? What? Are the roofs gonna have facades to make the roofs work with all 4 building styles? I'm not sure about that. I'm not in on the dev meeting, so I don't know all the stuff that they're working on. I'm not entirely sure what the full plan for the roofs are. I've basically only seen what you guys have seen. If modular broadband, we should just expand into being an internet company so we can guarantee that we'll have solid connection at all times.
All right, so we'll show this. So this will be a neat showcase once again of our process.
Yeah.
So basically, just a lot of experimentation, right? We explore and experiment, and we sketch and play and test and poke holes in things a lot. I don't have the other. The what?
Nothing. All right.
All right. So this was. So what?
Somebody's saying we should do modular broadband. I'm like, yeah, we could just be an internet company and like make our own internet. And Adam said, you could not be an internet company. You care about your customers too much.
Wow.
Yeah.
So among all the other neat things we're doing, we started messing around with trying to find a way to do a sort of a easy and flexible way to do exterior walls, right? Because there's in the Wizards published adventures, most of the stuff that involves cities, there's a lot of villas stuff, right? Where you take like a compound, right? You take a couple of buildings, you put fences around it, and it's the noble villa, or it's the warehouse with the yard or the whatever. Like it's a way to make a dungeon in a city, right? It's a contained area. You don't have to have the full city block. It's just like everything on these grounds happens. If you want to go to Strad's house or whatever, you want to have the monastery with the thing, or but you want to be able to contain an area. So we want a way to be able to do some exterior walls. So we were kicking around this idea of using. Using existing walls to do exterior walls, right? So if there were pieces that could join them and or maybe decorate them up, you could suddenly make exterior walls with your existing walls, or we could have maybe a new option or whatever. So it gives people a bunch of functionality. If you already have the old ones, you can do a thing, and it doesn't require a lot of big expensive pieces. You get a bunch of high multiples, whatever. So this was started as like some simple foam mocks, kind of crude, and then turned into some. Eli turned them into 3D, which so what's cool is that he's in Vermont. He can like jam out a thing in 3D, send us over the file and we print it out, and boom, you can sort of test it and whatever. So it's something, this is, and that's just rough geometry, right? This is not, it'll be sculpted and have personality, whatever. But
This is just for
like,
figuring out the measurements.
yeah, just
and
figuring
everything.
out the geometry. But the exciting thing about it is essentially taking, it gets you 4 inches on center, so you can stay in line with the rest of your city buildings, or if you're using sort of 4-inch base unit. And then we have some fun opportunities because this is 2 inches. That gives us some fun opportunities for stuff. We have opportunities to put pole accessories in there. Using this corner is at a 45-degree angle, so you can use 2 corners to do a 4-way if you want. And it only needs, where's the end? I don't have an end capper, but basically, it's all it takes is a straight corner, the 3-way, and a terminator, and you have you can just do endless fence options, and you can use your existing you can use your existing door if you want to have a gate in there or whatever, and of course it opens up, like we could make wrought iron or a thing with ivy on it or whatever. There's like it lets us make a fun wall or specific walls for it, then also work with the rest of your stuff. And you could even use it for interior walls if you wanted. I don't have enough to do anything. You could use your lantern. Of course, you could put your lantern, have one of your LED walls to have a lantern on the thing or whatever. So yeah, I'm pretty excited by like what this is going to open up, because you can just suddenly build out a whole cool compound, or you could do it with slums. You could, I don't know. It seems like there's lots of neat things that we're going to be able to do with just a few pieces. And once again, you can get a whole. They're not going to be very not expensive, right? Because they're pretty small. You get a nice bucket of these, and then take a bunch of your old walls and boom, 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 boom.
So somebody's saying it looks super fast to throw down. I'm like, this is very.
Yeah, you could speed build out a thing. You could also do. I mean, you could use it for interiors if you wanted. You could throw down a terrain tray or something. Use some fancy make it do the interior of a thing. You can also, I don't have an issue. If you have a narrow wall, the narrow wall basically gets swallowed by these. So then you could do really narrow runs, or for like alleys or whatever. So it's so it's going to be. I think these are going to open up a bunch of fun stuff. And wait till they actually get sculpted and have some personality and whatever.
Yeah.
Like, they're just geometric blocks.
I really like this in the interior wall system, because it feels like a nice complement to. So for the really complicated buildings that you can achieve, so we're expanding the CBS system so that you can do like really complicated stuff with that. But that requires more time and setup and everything, because that's where the fiddly parts come in, is getting the walls and everything pegged together. But it lets you do like these really massive, interesting builds. But then we're also taking care of like if you just want something faster and simpler.
Yeah, throw down some interior walls on a train tray and you have a build. Like, you don't need to do a whole elaborate thing. Yeah, I think we're gonna. What it is? It's a bunch of toolbox pieces, right? This is like these are just super versatile toolbox pieces that you're gonna end up finding a lot of uses for. And because it'll take any city builder wall, you can have different styles of them. We can do it gives us a lot of fun cross play with anything that we make. For this, could also work for your buildings, and vice versa. Any of the stuff for your buildings can work from this, and I don't know. There's gonna be some really neat stuff that people are gonna do.
Yeah, if you use like the wooden walls that we're making, you can make like an animal enclosure or something.
Yep.
Like,
you could also put them you could just use them as like buttresses against your castle or something. I don't know. They're gonna be some neat. They're good pieces in the toolbox. Like, they're gonna see a lot of play. These things are fast and useful. You want to throw a couple of fences down or a thing. You can use your ruined stone walls to have the rubble strewn the wall gets blown through. You can
it could be like the walls around a castle that have been broken down.
Yep.
Yeah.
The secret garden. It can be the whatever. I don't know. It's gonna open up a lot of stuff with one thing. Not 5 pieces, bunch of get a bucket of them and play with all the stuff you already have, right? You can already use all your existing walls to build them out. It should be pretty neat. So
You make a
That's
double
the-
wide gate with a large arch. A lot of piece requests coming in.
Yeah, well, and the nice thing too is then that double wide gate would terminate as a city builder thing or whatever. Like it just they play with it buildings. So, yeah, it gives us by only having to do 5 small pieces to do that, it lets us for our piece count allowance. Then we could make a cool gate or a really cool elaborate corner thing or whatever. There's a lot of neat specialty walls or whatnot. So I'm pretty excited for these. And once again, this is only step 2 in the process. Then we've gone from a rough sketch to a foam mock to a 3D mock to then it gets sculpted and then it gets painted.
Yeah, because
it's going to be.
I can't wait to see it when it's sculpted. Because for anybody who missed it or is still worried, this is not what it's going to look like. This is literally just like a mock-up to get the shapes and geometry down, but it will actually be sculpted and have texture to it.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you a good example.
Okay. Well, he's.
I
He's
found
off
this
again.
the other day. Wait,
I
by
thought it was
me,
down
I
in a
mean,
cavern now.
what's his name?
That's one thing
Tyler.
I really like with the interior wall system, and then with these, you can theoretically mix these with a lot of the other builds. With the interior walls, I know I was looking you can make a little shed in a cavern or something to help simulate if it's a mine or something. So it's they built this shed in here or something. Yeah.
So Tyler found this. So we've been cleaning the office for the first time ever, and Tyler found this treasure trove of old mocks. And we'll have to do an episode on when we go back. Oh, we did the castles retrospective, didn't we?
We did. That's where the dead cow came from.
Well, we found there's some doozies here. Some failed designs.
Oh wow.
For the castle that's a whole other episode. But it's a whole box of some awesome stuff. Look at this. This is actually with magnets and metal and how it's going to work. It was come a long way. But anyway, this was I don't know why I saw this one, but this is an example. This was a mock for, as you can see right on there. I don't know why it's written upside down, but straight battlement version 1.1. Right, straight matriculated battlement. So that's that's what you're looking at for the fences, and what the final looked like, an actual beautiful sculpted thing with personality and awesomeness.
Yeah. Basically, before we make the sculptors put a bunch of time into making something look nice, we want to make sure that the measurements are actually correct.
Well, yeah, you make sure the geometry makes sense and it actually works and it does what it's supposed to do. So, so and maybe that's not even the best example of how much better gets the thing, but I don't know. I thought it was. I don't know why this one stuck out, but I saw a box of wow, this one didn't actually change that much. I mean, it did a lot, but it fundamentally the geometry is still the same, but it actually has it's a real thing.
It's pretty now.
Yeah, even has. We went to the pains of having the murder holes in the floor go all the way through the floor. Why? That raised the cost. That probably raised the cost of this damn thing $1, and or something. But it was it was it's real. I mean, it's those little details. But I don't know. Yes. So anyway, so that's I forget that would show some super rough. These are generally rough things that we're looking at.
People are wondering how many different styles we'll have for these exterior wall connectors.
I don't know. Start with one and see what happens.
I think the main thing is right now we're just trying to make sure the system works.
Yeah. We're trying to I would rather create one style of 4 different systems than 2 styles of 2 systems.
That's fair.
That makes sense, right? I really want to give people a broad toolbox that gives them a bunch of different ways to do things, right? We're gonna have hot dog holes. We're gonna have
cities too, hot dogs and hallways.
It's gonna be epic. Is the thing, but no, we want. I don't know. I'd rather than trying to be the completionist on let's have 4 different types of fences that are all. I'd rather have one type of fence and one type of docks and one type of balconies and one type of foundation risers and have 4 different awesome things versus 4 different thematic variations on the same thing. But
Are the old city work and play well with new? Yeah, everything is being designed to work with the old
Yes.
city, and like the corner posts are like kind of an upgrade to the old ones, but you can still use the old ones.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, everything, all your old stuff will still be great. We're just going to give you a bunch of cool new options and stuff like this, where these fence things are literally designed to work really nicely with your existing stone walls. So you can give you some new life to your stuff. Slash expansions, right? Like 2x2 floors for your Tudor buildings and narrow walls for your Tudor buildings and a bunch of new stuff for your new options for your old ones. More I keep saying tools in the toolbox, but that's it. Like just loading up the tools so people have the ways to play. But I think it's 9:15. We should
we should wrap up.
Call it a night and go to bed. That's what people do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we? I think we got. Yeah, we covered. We got through.
I was worried we wouldn't be able to get through all the folders, but we did, and then showed some extra stuff. So
yeah, and we didn't even look at we didn't really look at the roofs. We didn't look at
the docks or scaffolding.
We didn't look
or
at the docks. We didn't look at
showing the exterior. I wasn't expecting us to show the exterior wall thing.
Yeah, it's
tonight,
just a
but
fun.
that's-
I don't know. It's a fun thing to show.
People seem really excited about it.
Show the
It's-
process too,
yeah.
because it'll be neat to. They'll have seen this, and then they get to see when it's sculpted, and then they get to see thing. And then I don't know. They'll show them the process.
All right. Well, thanks for coming, everybody.
Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all the excitement and the questions and the puns and I don't know, whatever was making Chris smile over there. You were
Just a lot of dumb stuff all night.
You were blinding me with this wonderful gleam. But once again, thank you for hanging out with us and all the support. And we look forward to some point launching cities for you.
Yeah. Thank you for coming to the stream where we show you how the hot dogs are made.
No. We can't.
Can't say that?
We can't show how the hot dog's made.
That can't be our
They don't want it,
catchphrase?
no. They just see a silhouette of the hot dog. That's as far as we get.
All right.
Great.
All right.
Hot dog hole.
Bye,
You
everybody.
can't show the sausage. Good night.
Bye, everybody.
The
And
hole, how it's made, the sausage.
is it Wednesday yet?
I don't know.